Andrew's serious lapses in judgment forced King Charles' hand in embarrassing move. King Charles' brother will now be known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and not as a prince. He will also move from his royal lodge residence into private accommodation. Prince Andrew's serious lapses in judgment forced King Charles to strip his brother of all titles and honors, it is understood. Buckingham Palace said the monarch initiated a formal process to remove the style, titles and honors of Prince Andrew as his links to pedophile financier Jeffrey Epstein continued to cause controversy. After the king's rare move, Andrew will be known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and not as a prince, and he will move from his royal lodge residence into private accommodation. It is understood that although Andrew denies the accusations, Buckingham Palace considers that there have been serious lapses of judgment. In a statement, the palace said, Prince Andrew will now be known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. His lease on Royal Lodge has, to date, provided him with legal protection to continue in residence. Formal notice has now been served to surrender the lease and he will move to alternative private accommodation. These censures are deemed necessary, notwithstanding the fact that he continues to deny the allegations against him. The statement added, Their Majesties wish to make clear that their thoughts and utmost sympathies have been, and will remain with, the victims and survivors of any and all forms of abuse. It is understood that although the king initiated the process of formally removing his titles and honors, Andrew did not object to it. The Prince of Wales is also understood to be supportive of the king's decision, as is the wider royal family. Pressure had increased on the monarchy to resolve the issue of Charles' disgraced brother, as the king was heckled earlier this week by a protester. Andrew is expected to move to a property on the King's Sandringham estate near the northeast coast and receive private financial support from his brother. His ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, who had been living with him in the 30-room mansion, will have to find a new home. Andrew, 65, has long denied Ms. Gifford's claims, but stepped down from royal duties after a disastrous November 2019 BBC interview in which he attempted to rebut her allegations. Andrew paid millions in an out-of-court settlement in 2022 after Ms. Gifford filed a civil suit against him in New York. While he didn't admit wrongdoing, he acknowledged Ms. Gifford's suffering as a victim of sex trafficking. Politicians from across the aisle have backed Charles' decision. Liberal Democrat leader Sir Ed Davey said Charles is absolutely right to do so. He added, It's clear that Andrew's position had become totally untenable, having disgraced his office and embarrassed the country. This is an important step towards rebuilding trust in our institutions and drawing a line under this whole sorry saga. Tory leader Kemi Badenoch said it must have been very difficult for the king to take the steps against his sibling, but that it was right for the public not to tolerate sexual abuse allegations.